Hey everyone, Shaun Stevenson here, author of the Throne series, and I got to go to an amazing bookstore. I have followed them on Instagram for a while. That is Beldame Books in Glens Falls, New York. And I got to go visit their shop, go look around, and let me tell you, this shop is amazing. The shop is full of like retro vintage, some new stuff, but more retro and vintage stuff. It has comic books, it has horror, sci-fi, fantasy, all kinds of stuff. There was a ton of middle grade horror books, spooky books. There was some middle grade fantasy, some Star Wars stuff, Star Trek stuff, some Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew. It was an amazing store. It was so much fun. They also had toys and so much memorabilia, all kinds of things in this store. It was so awesome. And it is worth the trip to Glens Falls, New York, which is in upstate New York. If you are in the New York area, go to Glens Falls, New York. It's actually in this really cool place called the Shirt Factory. It's on the main floor, which I'm telling you because it took me a minute to like track it down. I went to all 4 of the floors in this place, which the Shirt Factory, it's a multi-floor place that has all these different shops and vendors and things. There's multiple bookstores in there that you can go check out. Then there's tons of stuff to see, like antiques, all kinds of things, some like homemade kind of jams, all that stuff. It was an amazing place to go look around. And Beldame Books is so awesome. I couldn't even stand it. I was sitting in the store thinking, I can't believe this. I can't believe how many books I'm seeing all in one place right now. How many Christopher Pike books and Fear Street books and Shivers books and Dead Time stories and Bone Chillers and Goosebumps and all the things all in one place. They had a cart right outside the door that was a cart of $1 books. So there were tons of them. I actually got quite a few off of that cart. They also had some free books in a pile. I didn't find anything in there. And then they had some books inside. Now, the books inside are priced more competitively with online pricing, but still a lot cheaper than online pricing. So you do have some competitive pricing in there, which makes sense. Like some of these books do go for a lot of money. So you want to make sure that you're, getting your money's worth as a store. Totally understand it. But they're definitely cheaper prices than most books online usually go for. And that dollar book cart was awesome. There's just so much. I didn't even really get time to go look through all the comic books they had. There was so much there. And I want to show you the books I did pick up. Now, I got 2 Goosebumps books. 2, and I was so excited about them because they are part of my list that I needed, and I can't wait to talk about them. I've already read one of them, and I will be talking about that soon. So, but first, here are the books I found there at Beldame Books, and here they are. So first up, I got a few Fear Street books. So I picked up Double Date. This was on the dollar book cart. And of course, like it's a little bit like, worn, but I picked this one up on the dollar book cart because this was one that my mom and my brother did not have. And they were like, oh yeah, can you pick that one up and get that? So I found this one. This is actually a first printing of this book. It was on the dollar book cart and I was so excited to find it. So I picked up Double Date from Fear Street. And then these 2 were in excellent condition. So I found the Fear Street book, Truth or Dare, which this one is interesting. It has that Dollar General $1 thing up at the top, which I thought was so fascinating. So this one is a great copy of this book. It's not a first printing, but it's a nice copy of the book, Truth or Dare, that I did not have, and I'm so excited to have it. And then I also picked up Wrong Number 2, which I am excited to read this one. I have not read Wrong Number yet, but I want to read that one and then this one right after. So I'm excited to read Wrong Number and Wrong Number 2. And then on the dollar book cart, I found another Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys super mystery by Carolyn Keene, not by Franklin W. Dixon, which is a really interesting series because these ones seem to be focused more for readers of Nancy Drew than for readers of the Hardy Boys, which I find fascinating. So this is the first book in that series, and it is called Double Crossing. And it's where the Hardy Boys team up with Nancy Drew and solve a super mystery. And then on that dollar book cart, I picked up 3 more Hardy Boys Case Files books, which I have read one of these books so far, and it was really good. It was really intense. In the old school Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew books, people don't usually get murdered, But in these case file books, they do. So there is usually a murder mystery to solve. And so I picked up book number 11, Brother Against Brother. I also picked up book number 18, A Killing in the Market. And then I picked up book number 23, Disaster for Hire. And then I also found another Nightmare Hall book that I did not have on the dollar cart. This is book number 17, and it is called Last Breath. And then I was super excited to find this. I do not see many Erie, Indiana books anymore. I found a couple of them so far, but I found book number 6, Fountain of Weird, which I was super excited to find. This does have the step back art, which is so fun. I love these covers and like what they do with them. So it is really fun. And I can't wait to read more of these Erie, Indiana books. I loved the show as a kid. I've read the first book, Return to Foreverwhere. And what's really awesome about these books is they're brand new stories from the world of Erie, Indiana. So they're not retreads of episodes. They are new stories that were written for this series, which I really actually love that because it gives us more stories in the world of Erie, Indiana, which was so short. It lasted for so few episodes, but was so much fun. So here's book number 6, Fountain of Weird. And then I found 2 more Shivers books while I was there. They had a bunch more Shivers books too, but I already had those ones, but I found 2 I did not have. So I picked up number 24, The Ghosts of Devil's Marsh, which looks so spooky and so interesting. Shivers books, they are wild. I just recently read another one, A Ghastly Shade of Green, book number 2. That was an experience. And then I also picked up book number 25, A Ghostly Playmate, which looks so creepy. I'm gonna read it, but it looks creepy to me. And then I found another one of the Nancy Drew Minstrel copies. This is book number 96, The Case of the Photo Finish by quote unquote Carolyn Keene. But not really because, these are all ghost written. But here's another one in the series. I am loving these covers. I think they're the best covers of Nancy Drew. In my personal opinion, I really love the 90s, 80s style of them. So Minstrel was putting these out, and before that, Wanderer was putting them out, both imprints of Simon & Schuster, I believe. So this is another one in that series. And then this was like a last minute. I was kind of like taking one more pass around the store, and I found this little stack on the bottom of a shelf, and I was like, oh, I should just glance through these, see if there's anything there. And I saw a Fright Time book, and I thought, oh, I already have that one. And I was kind of like looking, and I was like, oh, there's another Fright Time one. Wait a minute. Do I have that one? No, I don't. And so I picked it up, and it was only like a couple bucks. So that is Fright Time book number 12. I love these Fright Time books. I don't think I've read one that I didn't like yet. I've really enjoyed them. They all have 3 different like novellas in them, and they're super fun. Like some of them are more creepy, and some are more like just kind of like sci-fi sort of horror, if that makes sense, where it's like a little more like Twilight Zone in some of them, and some of them are actually really spooky. And so this one is Fright Time book number 12 with 3 more stories in it, and I can't wait to read it. And then I didn't find these at Beldame Books, but I found them in New York while I was there. One of them was from a free little library, and they were said like, please come take a book, just take one. And so I was kind of looking through to see if there's anything, and I did find one. I found book number 48 in the Animorph series, which is The Return. So I did not have this one. Unfortunately, it does have that scratch on the cover, but this is book number 48, The Return, and it was exciting to find this one there on the little free library. And we stopped at another little bookstore in Saratoga Springs called Lyrical Bookstore, I believe it was. And that one had an amazing layout. It's one of those stores that you like turn a corner and, oh, there's still more books this way. And then you turn a corner and, oh, there's more books this way. And you turn a corner and, oh, there's more books this way. And you just like keep going around the store. Like there's so many little rooms and stuff. It was really awesome. I thought it was a really amazing store. And I found one book there that I didn't have because we were kind of on a time crunch. And so I was kind of like looking quick to see what I could find. But I did find a Clue Junior book. This is book number 10, and this is The Case of the Secret Password. These are based on the Clue Junior board game, and they're like the Clue books that were put out in the 90s, but these ones have them as kids instead of adults solving these mysteries. They're full of little mysteries along the way, and they have like the answers to the mystery upside down afterwards. So you read the chapter, try and solve the mystery, and then you turn the book upside down and read the answer to the solution, which I won't show you, don't even think about it. I'm not going to show you any of the answers because you got to find it, read it for yourself, figure out the clues. So those are the books I found at Beldame Books and a little beyond. And I just got to say, like I said, if you are in New York, go visit this bookstore. It was incredible. I thought it was so amazing. They had so much great stuff. The workers there are so awesome. Like, they were super helpful, super friendly, and definitely go check this place out. You are going to find something. I literally was like picking between different things because there were so many good things that I could have gotten, but I had to choose. So I had to choose, and these are the ones I chose, which I am very happy about. I found some great stuff that I was excited to find. So until next time, everybody, keep reading. Bye.